All right, so you're busy. We get it. Everyone's busy. But you still want to know what's up next for the Switch,
Of course.
right? And who has time to read through all those articles?
Not me?
Not us. So we're cutting straight to the good stuff. The key takeaways from the latest Nintendo Direct on March 27th, the one all about the current Switch.
Right before we shift focus to the Switch 2, which actually has its own Direct coming up on April 2nd. Smart move, really. Keep people engaged with the current system, but give them a taste of what's next.
A little something for everyone. Exactly. So today, no need to watch the whole presentation yourself. We've got you covered. Ready to deep dive into the biggest announcements.
Let's do it.
Starting with, well, let's be honest, a couple blasts from the past.
Remakes and remasters, always a safe bet.
Exactly. First up, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, announced by, well, they credited it to Takahashi, so.
Makes you wonder, is that a typo, an inside joke? Who knows?
Right. Anyway, Square Enix is behind this one. It's a full HD 2D remake of the first two Dragon Quest games. Now, this HD 2D style, it's kind of their thing lately, eh? Pixel art, but fancy.
Definitely playing the nostalgia card while trying to give it a modern feel.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But is that enough to bring back players who already experienced these classics?
That's the question, right? And they added a little something extra at the end of the trailer, teasing another character, like maybe a new adventure woven into the existing games. But no details, just more info later. Classic.
Keep them hooked, keep them guessing. Makes you wonder how much is truly new versus just spruced up.
For sure. All right, moving on. We got a glimpse at the Somnium Files NirvanA Initiative. Now, this series is, how should we put it?
Unique, definitely unique.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Crime solving mixed with dream diving. That's their whole thing.
Trippy, mind-bending, and honestly hard to summarize without sounding a bit crazy.
Exactly. You play as this agent, Conan Date, who's got an AI in his eye called IBA, naturally. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find this internet idol, Iris, who's trapped inside some kind of escape game.
An escape game in someone's subconscious.
Naturally. So the gameplay, it's a mix of real-world interviews, then you literally dive into dreams to get clues.
Which are, as you'd expect, filled with puzzles. But not just any puzzles. The mind-bending, reality-warping kind.
And through all that, you got to piece together what's going on and rescue Iris. And this guy, Conan Date, his catchphrase is, wait for it, no sleep for Conan Date. Subtle, right?
Real catchy.
Totally. Anyway, this one's got a release date, July 25th on the Switch. Mark your calendars if that's your jam.
They definitely know their audience with this one. Niche, but hey, dedicated fans, right?
For sure. All right, back to the retro train. Rio Remastered. The Mystery of the Soulless Army. It's an Atlus action RPG, dusted off and given the old HD treatment.
Set in Taisho 20, the capital city. Atlus, they know RPGs, deep systems, storylines, the whole shebang.
And this Taisho era setting, it's a cool mix. Kind of Japanese, kind of Western influences. You play as Ryo Kuwaha, apprentice detective by day, devil summoner by night. Gotta protect the capital, you know?
Classic setup. Investigating supernatural stuff, but with demons. The combat's real-time alongside your summon buddies. You gotta strategize, hit enemy weak points, sometimes even recruit those demons to your side.
And these demons aren't just muscle, they help you solve cases too. Multi-purpose, I guess. Story's all about this conspiracy threatening the capital naturally. So Rio Remastered, it hits the Switch June 19th, pre-orders open the same day.
Makes you think, though, how do these older games hold up nowadays? Will those updates be enough to bring in new players? Or is it just for the diehards?
Big questions, big questions. Now get ready for something a bit different.
Different is putting it mildly.
Shadow Labyrinth. This is a new game, and the premise, you wake up with no memories in a weird world, and there's this yellow orb named Puck.
Sounds harmless enough.
Right? Except their tagline is, consume darkness. Uh-oh.
Yeah, not so cheerful anymore, huh?
So you explore this maze-like world, and there's this phase-shifting mechanic, working with Puck to get around.
But then there's combat. And not just any combat. You merge with Puck into this Gaia form for powerful attacks. You also got to consume prey for resources, so there's a survival element in there too.
A lot going on. And here's the kicker. They describe it as a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man. Now, I don't know about you.
It's a bold comparison.
It is. Is that going to draw people in or just confuse them?
My guess is the latter, but we'll see.
Shadow Labyrinth launches July 18th, folks. Get ready to consume darkness, I guess.
Sounds delightful.
Speaking of consuming, let's shift gears to something a bit more rhythmic. Patapon 1+2 replay.
Yeah, Patapon. Those little guys. Always a good time. Bringing back those PSP classics for the Switch. Smart move.
Pure nostalgia. It's all about drumming. You press buttons to the beat, make your Patapon army march, attack, all that. Good timing, string together combos, you trigger fever mode.
Gets intense. Got to manage those different units, too. Keepapon on horseback, Tapon with shields, they all have their roles. Picking the right combo for each enemy, that's key.
Right. And they mentioned hordes of fierce foes, so sounds like the challenge is there. But there are also new features, something about letting players advance to the beat of your own drum, maybe difficulty options, pacing, who knows?
It's a tough balance, remasters. Stay true to the original, but also make it work for new players.
For sure. Patapon 1+2 Replay marches onto the Switch July 11th. Let the rhythm take control.
Indeed. Now, from battling to something a bit more chill.
Time to relax and grow some crops.
Sounds like my kind of pace.
Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar. This one's actually a DS game making a comeback.
Interesting. Story of Seasons. That's farming sim royalty right there. Taking it back to the DS era could be a nice change of pace.
This time you're in Zephyr Town. It's in a valley, lots of wind apparently. You've got your farm, got to grow crops, raise animals, the usual.
And sell it all at the town's weekly bazaar. That's the twist. The story's about making the bazaar popular again, bringing the town back to life. And this wind, apparently it affects travel tasks.
Could be a cool mechanic.
Yeah, we'll see how they implement it.
Of course, got to make friends, maybe find romance. It's a life sim after all. Story of Seasons. Grand Bazaar arrives on Switch August 27th.
All right, from tranquil farming to, well, things are about to get mysterious.
Cue the ominous music. They showed a teaser for an Unknown Planet Voss game, Samus.
Metroid fans, prick up your ears.
This looks like a whole new Samus adventure. Not Metroid Prime 4, something separate. She's stranded on this lush jungle planet with a giant tree. Not your typical Metroid setting.
Definitely different.
Yeah. The gameplay, it seems like you scan these stone figures, relics, to figure out how to progress. Lots of exploration, puzzles, the Metroid staples. But there's a twist.
The twist.
Samus gets these ancient psychic powers. Like she can move stuff with her mind, control her beam trajectory, wild stuff.
That's a big change. Could be awesome, could feel totally out of place.
Right. And of course, there are enemies, creepy alien creatures lurking in the jungle. The story hints at connections beyond space and time. Sounds ambitious.
No title, no release date, though. Just that it's coming after Story of Seasons.
So early days for this one. But hey, Psychic Samus, sign me up.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Now, how about we switch gears to something a little lighter?
Lighter, but maybe a bit wicked.
Wicked Works.
Disney villains' cursed cafe. I mean, the name says it all, right?
Disney's got to milk those villains somehow.
All right. So you run this cafe, but it's also a potion shop. You're the newest potionista, and gotta whip up drinks for the likes of Ursula, Gaston. Even Izuma's there to help, or maybe hinder, who knows?
Sounds chaotic.
Oh, it is. You mix ingredients, brew elixirs, upgrade stuff to make even wilder concoctions. And those drinks, they affect the villains' stories. Different outcomes, the whole 9 yards.
So choices matter.
Right. But the real kicker, this one launched on the same day as the Direct, March 27th. So go get your villainous caffeine fix, I guess.
They didn't waste any time without...
Dope. From evil lattes to magical education, Witchbrook. The name's a bit on the nose, but hey, it's about attending a wizarding school.
A classic for a reason. But does it bring anything new to the table?
So you learn spells, brew potions, attend classes on magic circles, broom flying, all that good stuff. You can take jobs to pay for tuition, craft, and sell magical items.
Usual school sim activities.
Pretty much. But there's also online co-op. Up to 4 players.
Now that's something different. Could be fun running around with your wizard pals.
Right. Witchbrook is aiming for a holiday release on the Switch, so maybe we'll be brewing potions with friends by then.
Fingers crossed.
Now, how about a platforming adventure?
Always up for a good platformer.
This one's called The Eternal Life of Goldenmane. Hand-drawn art style, really striking, and your mission, eliminate a mysterious deity.
Sounds intense.
Oh, it does. The setting's this vast archipelago described as a place where nightmares and wonder collide. So, expect some spooky stuff.
I'm intrigued.
You explore this archipelago, upgrade your cane with magical parts, use those upgrades to get around. Classic Metroidvania vibes.
I was just thinking that.
The Eternal Life of Goldenmane is also planned for the holidays on Switch, so another one to add to the wish list.
All right, enough with the new stuff. Let's give the retro fans something to cheer about.
Time for a blast from the past. Get ready for the Gradius Anniversary Collection.
Celebrating a whopping 40 years of Gradius. That's a lot of shoot-'em-up action.
The lineup is impressive. We've got Gradius, Salamander, Life Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, even Salamander 2. And some of them have multiple versions, like different regions, launch years.
For the hardcore fans, that's a treasure trove.
Exactly. But here's the real bombshell. They're including a brand new game, Salamander 3 Gradius Origins.
Whoa, hold on. A new Gradius game in this economy.
Apparently. It's a big deal for fans. Gradius Anniversary Collection launches August 7th. Pre-orders open the same day.
All right. Got to give them credit for that one. Nostalgia plus something new. That's how you do an anniversary collection.
Agreed. Now, let's get back to the rhythm.
Keep the beat going.
Rift the Necrodancer. More of that unique, rhythm-based combat we all know, and, well, some love.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the fans, they're dedicated.
Oh, yeah. You gotta hit the right buttons in each lane, fight monsters to the beat. They should boss battles, minigames, remix stages, even leaderboards.
So they're doubling down on what made the original work.
Definitely. And they mentioned DLC. A Celeste music pack, paid of course. More to come, apparently. Rift of the Necrodancer actually launched on the same day as the Direct, March 27th. So if you're into that kind of thing, go get groovin'.
All right, let's switch it up again. How about some life sim action?
But a bit more. Unusual.
Unusual is this Direct's middle name.
True that. We got a glimpse of a new Amoy Connection game. No title yet, but it's set in Tagoy Plaza.
Amoy Connection? Those are cute, but they're not exactly deep, you know?
They're simple, yeah. This time, you're helping out 12 different stores. Got to provide good customer service to get good ratings, upgrade the shops.
The better your service, the more Tagoy you meet, the town gets livelier. It's their formula.
Exactly. And they say there are over 100 new and classic Tamagoi to encounter, so plenty to collect, I guess. This one launches June 27th on the Switch.
If you're into that sort of thing.
All right, ready for one of the heavy hitters?
Hit me with it.
Pokemon Legends, ZA. A brand new Pokemon game. And get this, it's set in Lumiose City from Pokemon X and Y.
Whoa, back to Kalos. Didn't see that coming.
Right. But it's not just a rehash. It's Lumiose City, but there's this whole urban redevelopment thing going on. Quasaro Inc. is behind it. They want to make the city a place where people and Pokemon can coexist.
Interesting concept. Urban Pokemon, that's new.
Definitely. So you explore these wild zones within the city where Pokemon live. You can still catch them, battle them, but some might be more aggressive than usual. And they're not just in those zones. Apparently you can find them on rooftops all over the place.
They did show a glimpse of a Garchomp on a building, didn't they?
Yep, pretty wild. And get this, the city's aura changes between day and night. Could affect which Pokemon appear, who knows, but it's definitely not your usual Pokemon setting.
A lot of potential there, depending on how they handle it.
And at night, there's this tournament for trainers, the Za Royale. You start at rank Z, work your way up to rank A, and apparently the top trainers get a wish granted.
Classic tournament setup. Gotta be a catch, though.
Oh, I'm sure. And the battles, they mentioned super effective moves and the return of Mega Evolution. So they're pulling out the big guns for this one. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming later this year on Switch.
All right, color me intrigued. Gotta see more gameplay, though.
Agreed. Okay, time for some good news for rhythm game fans. A brand new Rhythm Heaven game. Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Finally. It's been too long.
Way too long. They didn't show much, just emphasize that it's full of those funny little rhythm games the series is known for. They showed a quick clip of jumping through a ring to the beat. Looks simple, but you know it's going to be tough.
Timing is everything.
And the music? It's by Senku again, so you know the soundtrack's going to be top-notch.
A staple of the series.
No release date yet, though. Just we hope you're looking forward to it.
Typical?
But hey, at least it's confirmed, right?
That's true. Now, for something completely different. A new feature for digital games. The virtual game card feature.
This is a big one for folks who buy their games digitally. It's coming in a system update in late April.
Trying to make digital games feel a bit more tangible.
Exactly. Basically, your downloaded games will show up as virtual game cards on a screen. You can load and eject them.
Like you're swapping cartridges.
Yeah. And if you have two Switch systems, you can move games between them, just like with physical cards.
Interesting.
Right. You can even lend games to people in your Nintendo account family group.
So like digital game sharing.
Yeah, but it's only one game at a time per person, and they automatically return after 2 weeks.
Not as flexible as just handing someone a cartridge.
True, but it's something. And here's the big part. This feature will work with the Nintendo Switch too.
Oh, so they're thinking ahead.
For sure. Your digital library will carry over, which is a big relief for a lot of folks, I'm sure.
Definitely.
All right, back to the games. Another classic RPG is getting the HD treatment. Saga Frontier 2 Remastered.
The Saga games, they're a bit niche,
Yeah,
but the fans, they love them.
for sure. This one has two main characters, Gustav the Royal Heir and Will Knights the Explorer. Their stories are connected across generations.
And the remaster, it has the original story plus new events, expanding the world a bit.
They also made some gameplay tweaks. You can team up with more characters in battles, and there's this parameter inheritance system, which lets you transfer stats between allies.
Add some depth to the combat.
And if you're a real masochist, there are even tougher bosses to fight after you finish the main story. Saga Frontier 2 Remastered also launched on the same day as the Direct, March 27th.
They really went all out with the same-day releases, didn't they?
They did. Okay, how about some puzzle action?
Hit me with those brain teasers.
We got a double whammy here. The Monument Valley 1 and 2 bundle and an announcement for Monument Valley 3.
Those are gorgeous games. The puzzles, the art style, so unique.
In the first one, you guide this silent princess, Ida. It's all about forgiveness and stuff. The second one, you play as Ro, and it's about motherhood.
Really different themes.
Yeah, but the gameplay is similar. Moving platforms, manipulating the environment, those Escher-like illusions.
It's more about the journey than the destination with these games.
Totally. The bundle has both games, all the extra chapters, add-ons, the whole shebang, and Monument Valley 3. They didn't show much, just said it stars a character named New, and they gotta restore light to the world.
Sounds intriguing.
Right. The bundle launches April 15th. Pre-orders start the same day. Monument Valley 3 is coming this summer.
All right, let's keep this train rolling. From puzzles too. Have us some golf.
Time to tee off. A new Everybody's Golf game is coming. Or Hot Shots Golf, if you prefer.
Same difference.
It's a more arcadey take on golf. You aim, time your swings, there are special shots, backspin, side spin.
The fun kind of golf,
Right.
not the realistic simulator stuff.
Exactly. They showed a single-player challenge mode where you compete in tournaments against rivals. But they also have a wacky golf mode where crazy stuff happens.
Like what?
They showed getting pulled into the hole, obstacles falling on you.
Sounds appropriately wacky.
And of course, there's multiplayers. Up to 4 players, local or online. Everybody's Golf is hitting the Switch later this year.
All right, from the golf course to... Oh boy, here we go.
Time for some superhero action? Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This one lets you team up Marvel heroes to fight bad guys.
Got to capitalize on that Marvel license somehow.
Yeah. They've got a roster of 15 heroes to choose from. Spider-Man, Wolverine, those are the big names they mentioned.
Solid lineup.
Yeah. The gameplay's all about pairing up 2 heroes and switching between them during combat. Each hero has their strengths. Some are close quarters fighters, some are better in the air.
Got to find the right synergy.
Exactly. And you can play with up to 4 players, locally or online. So grab your superhero buddies and get ready to bash some baddies. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is launching this holiday season on Switch.
So, saving the world in time for the holidays. Sounds like a plan.
Now for the last game announcement. Brace yourselves, folks. It's the return of Tomodachi Life. The sequel, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream.
It's been over 10 years.
I know, right? The trailer didn't show much, just Mies living on an island. No gameplay details, just we hope you're looking forward to it.
So mysterious.
But hey, at least we know it's coming.
Got to keep the hype alive.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, one last thing. It's not a game, but it's still important. A new smart device app called Nintendo Today.
An app? What's it for?
It's like a daily calendar for all things Nintendo. News, info about games, characters.
So like a news feed, but from Nintendo directly.
Yeah, pretty much. And after the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 on April 2nd, it'll also have daily news about the new system. So if you want to stay in the loop, this is the way to do it.
Smart move. Got to get people hyped for the new console.
For sure. The app launched on March 27th, same day as the Direct. You can download it right now if you have a Nintendo account.
All right, so that was a whirlwind. From remakes and remasters to brand new adventures, even a Disney villain cafe. Nintendo's throwing everything at the wall this year.
They are. And with the Switch 2 on the horizon, it makes sense. Got to keep people excited about the current system, but also tease what's coming next.
Exactly. What stood out to you?
Honestly, the Grittiest Anniversary Collection with the new Salamander game, that was a surprise. And the Psychic Samus game, got to see more of that.
Yeah, that one has potential, but also a lot of ways it could go wrong.
True. And for the digital folks, that virtual game card feature is a big deal. Having your library carry over to the Switch too, that's huge.
Huge. Makes you think, though, with all these games in this new app, how are you going to stay on top of it all?
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. But that's what we're here for, right? We cut through the noise, give you the key takeaways so you can spend less time reading and more time playing.
Exactly. So what game are you most excited for? What news are you going to be checking that app for every day? Think about it. This is the future of Nintendo unfolding right before our eyes.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time.